There we go. Ta-da!
Should we do a practice?
Okay.
Okay.
You have
Ready?
a new theme song.
3, like, what meter is it to?
It's the Stephen and Darian show. Okay, I think we're ready.
Yeah?
Count down.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
It's a Stephen and...
Oh, no, let's try it again. We gotta count in like, okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the Stephen and Darian show. Jazz hands. Oh, hello, people.
Welcome. Thank
Welcome.
you for coming.
Thank you for arriving.
Yeah. So this is a stressful time and the world is out of control. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
hopefully we can have a cheerful, nice, fun conversation here together. Thank you for joining us.
Yep. I'm not going to talk about what I just read on the news literally 10 minutes
No.
ago.
No news.
No news. Right.
No news is good news.
Yep.
All right. So how was your weekend?
That was weird. It's like 1, 2, 0.
It flickers sometimes. I think it has to do with internet connection.
Alright, okay.
So maybe they're still there.
Hear that someone logged on and just hated me so much that they logged off straight away.
Ugh, that Steven
That
guy.
Steven guy.
Those
With
suspenders.
the cursor right on his button.
I'm sorry, is that bothering you? All right.
Okay. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about cultural exports from Japan. So things, could you describe cultural exports?
Yeah, so things that Japan exports to America or Ireland or Europe culturally.
Yeah. So whether that's like things that get famous abroad, things that get famous
Movies,
in countries,
music, video games, anime, of course.
manga, toys, video, and lots of different things. Japan has lots and lots of cultural exports.
So lots of Japanese culture gets popular in America. So that's what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about Europe as well.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, where should we start?
Okay, well, how about we start with like your first experience of, let's say, Japan, or the first time you found out about Japan as like a country. So probably when you were a child or something.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's really silly. But when I was a kid, probably from age 7,
Yeah.
I was wildly, completely, and totally obsessed with Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love Pokemon when I
You
was a kid
too?
too. Yeah.
Every day after school, as soon as I got home, the anime came on.
Yeah.
And I had the stuffed animals and the trading cards and the movies.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Right. So that's like something that is actually Japanese.
Yeah.
That was your first experience.
Yeah,
with
and then I was
actual
like,
Japanese.
and then I found out, where is Pokemon from? Oh,
Right.
it's from this place called Japan.
Right.
And that was honestly, like, besides, like, seeing Japan in movies, which I can't really remember my first movie I saw. Maybe Memoirs of a Geisha, but that was played by a Chinese person.
Really? She's Chinese?
She's Chinese.
Wow.
I don't know why, like, there's plenty of Japanese
that's
actors.
a very strange decision
Yeah.
on their part. Very weird.
But yeah, I read, but it's not even authored by a Japanese person. But the movie is set in Japan.
Yeah.
And I was 14 when I saw that movie, so maybe Memoirs of a Geisha. Do you remember that movie? If you remember that movie,
I thought it was a really good movie,
chat.
and now I'm probably gonna have to like rethink it because I'm like not written by a Japanese person, not played by a Japanese person.
but I think it was very well researched.
Right. I know it was well received, and I remember watching it and thinking it was good.
Did you see Memoirs of a Geisha? Tell us in the chat. What did you think? Is it crazy? Is it totally different from real history?
Yeah, I think for me, so if I go back really far into my childhood, thinking about when I was like a baby or something, I remember, when I was a really small kid, I remember watching The Karate Kid.
Oh!
Which is not technically a Japanese.
Kid.
It's not Japanese film.
Yeah, but Japanese actor.
It's like Japanese actor, right? Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
He's Japanese,
Yeah. And I saw that too.
And it's about karate, which is like or karate.
Karate.
And that's what made me want to do like karate when I was like a child. And so that was probably like the first thing that made me think like, wow, Japan's so cool.
You know what? It was probably my first too.
Yeah. But like I do also remember seeing Pokemon when I was like 7 or 8 or something. I was in primary school, like elementary school, when I saw Pokemon. And so but then before I saw Pokemon, I saw Dragon Ball.
I was also super obsessed with Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was super into it. So I think that was part of it for me.
So those were kind of the early anime, and in America, it came on TV. Pokemon was afternoon, and Dragon Ball Z was evening. And I didn't know it was a Japanese show when I was a little kid because it was in English.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know. But
I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. You know, I have kids at there's like a after school kind of juku I teach at. And at this after school juku, one of the kids, he's like maybe hafu, kind of like maybe he's got maybe he's like part Japanese and part some kind of maybe Caucasian heritage or something. But yeah, definitely his mother or father, whoever is the probably Westerner in his family, really likes Cartoon Network. And so like he knows all about like all these different Cartoon Network shows. Yeah,
this is like American cartoons, American anime.
And I grew up with those in Ireland too. And so he started like naming, like he was like, oh, I was watching Steven Universe, he said. And I was like, yeah, I know Steven Universe. And he was like, no, not Steven like you, Steven, different Steven, because my name is Steven too. And I was like,
cute.
No, you mean like the Cartoon Network show, like Steven Universe, like it's a kid's show. And he was like, oh, you know Steven Universe? And I was like, yeah, it's a Western show. And he was like, what? I thought it was Japanese. And I was like, no, man. And then I was like, do you like Adventure Time? Do you like Scooby-Doo? Do you like other Western TV shows? And he didn't realize that like Cartoon Network was American. He didn't know.
Yeah, because it's dubbed. Do you know dub?
Dub.
Yeah, that means another voice over the original voice.
Yeah.
Dub. Yeah. I see we have a few new people. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. We are talking about Japanese culture in America and Ireland.
Yeah.
So the first time we kind of became aware of Japanese culture was when we were little kids. And of course, little kids love cartoons or anime.
I still love cartoons.
Yeah, I still love cartoons. I don't want to grow up.
Yeah.
I'll never grow up.
I'll never grow up.
I refuse. So Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and Sailor Moon.
Oh, I like that one as a kid too.
I loved it. I had figurines too.
Oh yeah, I had when I was a kid.
Welcome.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had like figurines or action figures from like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
I loved Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's a lot of stuff that's like exported like that. And so I think it's great when it's like anime or stuff and like it's dubbed for kids, you know, because you can't read subtitles.
Yeah.
Or subtitles, that's fine. But it always bothers me when people export, let's say, a film, and then like they have to change the whole thing. You know, like
the translation.
not even a translation, but it's like
Editing?
no, like they'll remake a film. It's like this film was popular in this country, and then like we'll export it, but then it's like like people don't want to read subtitles, so I'm not a fan of the Dragon Ball movie. Oh god, the Dragon Ball movie was
it was
bad.
The worst.
Did you mean the live action one? Oh, the live action one was terrible.
But it's really fun to watch just for laughs.
It's just so bad.
It's really funny.
Bad. Yeah, it's one of those like you can laugh at it movies. Like yeah.
So Aries, where are you from, and what Japanese culture would you like to talk about? Put it in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah, so besides anime, Steven brought up movies.
Yeah, there's some great Japanese movies, really, really good ones. But like a lot of the time, especially English-speaking countries, people don't want to. I've heard good movies, I guess, about the Japanese culture. Cool. Oh, very cool.
So about the Japanese, working like lots of hours, working really hard. Yeah.
Doesn't apply to us though. Yay.
I go home at the end of the day. I do not stay 2 hours extra.
No way.
So in the Philippines, do you see a lot of Japanese anime or manga or movies or music? Let us know.
Yeah.
In America, we love to remake Japanese horror movies, like scary movies, horror movies.
Yeah, like Ju-on got made into The Grudge, or Ringu got made into The Ring.
The Ring. That's easy one.
That's easy. What else did they remake? The Eye. That was, I think it was called The Eye, where it's like there's the person with the camera. The camera takes pictures. No, wait. They get eye surgery. After they've been like blind or.
Aries says, a lot of Japanese culture is pretty big out there.
Oh yeah. Well, like what would you say is like the most popular in like
the Philippines?
The Philippines.
Yeah.
But there's this movie where the woman, she gets like eye surgery. Like kind of laser eye surgery.
Is that REC Rec?
No, that's like a Portuguese movie. Right?
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah, and
a Japanese friend recommended it. So
right. No, REC Rec is like kind of like a zombie movie.
Anime and manga.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it the same as America, like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and Conan and?
I actually, you know what? Conan is super unheard of in Europe.
Really?
Yeah, I never heard of Conan until I came to Japan.
Conan is called Case Closed in America. Case closed, like finished with the case. How dare you?
Excuse me.
Rude.
I guess like most of the anime that's popular in Ireland is like either shonen or
Gundam. Yeah, Gundam was super popular too.
Oh, I loved Gundam as a child.
Yeah, I went to the Gundam Cafe in Akihabara, and it was so much fun.
Oh yeah, kind of
Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. Yeah.
Shonen.
Same.
Yeah, those are popular in Ireland as well. But Ireland's kind of like a split between it's like lots of shonen and then lots of like Adult Swim anime. So like Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Berserk.
Yeah, that's one anime from Japan.
Stuff like that.
Cowboy Bebop. Have you heard of it? Probably not. That was a super popular anime in America, but not so popular in Japan.
Yeah, like no one here knows about it. It's like it's really weird because it's really good and it's probably like my favorite anime. And I'm not super into anime, but like I really love Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop is beautiful.
It's a really well-made show. The storyline's great. The characters are great. The music's great. Yeah. And
sometimes I just put on the soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack's really good.
Yeah. But
Isn't that like? Isn't that Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I'm just bad. No, I'm just bad
Brooklyn
at.
Nine-Nine.
I'm bad at imitating the horns.
Yeah.
But you know the horns.
Yeah, I know.
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom,
Full
boom,
Metal
boom, boom,
Panic.
boom, boom. Oh yeah, Full Metal Panic. Yeah.
Is that like Full Metal Jacket? No.
No.
Sorry, Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, very different. Very different.
Oh, I don't know Full Metal Panic.
Full Metal Panic is like, I think they're like cops or something, or it's like they're like army people. I can't remember.
Guess we should check it out.
Slam Dunk. I don't know that one.
That's the basketball one.
That's what's it called?
All the
over here?
pretty boys. Slam Dunk. It's called Slam Dunk.
No, like over here it has a different name. It's like
I'm pretty sure it's called Slam Dunk. I've seen it on T-shirts and stuff.
I think there's another one called
Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. You're just naming them off. Yeah.
Inuyama is really popular in Ireland.
Inuyasha?
Inuyasha, sorry. Inuyama.
Inuyama, the place near Nagoya.
Inuyasha is really, really popular. Claims of wreck, childhood.
Childhood memories, yeah. So, of course, we don't want to stereotype Japan.
Yeah.
We don't want to just stay on anime. So, let's do something different. What's another category of Japanese culture? What about, like music, maybe?
Music. Yeah, I feel like Japanese music isn't exported that much.
J-pop isn't as popular, maybe, but
I feel like K-pop is really popular in Europe right now. J-pop, not so much.
I wonder why.
I didn't really like Japanese music before I came over, except for like a few bands.
Why do you think K-pop is so easy to export? So easy to spread around the world. Why do so many people like K-pop? Even in America, we had our Psy moment.
Yeah. Oh my God, that song was so. Gangnam Style. That was the dance of my university years.
Yeah, like 2011.
Yeah, 2012, 2013.
Yeah, such a huge song.
Yeah, about 2012.
Yeah, it was on the radio. I had never heard K-pop on the radio before that.
Yeah.
That was my first time to hear Korean music on American radio. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And for a while, in rap songs, there were even Korean spots. It was like a trend.
Oh,
yeah.
Huh.
But, so
I guess
maybe, I think K-pop is just really flashy.
Yeah. I feel like K-pop is like more intended for an international market.
They mix languages
because
a lot.
I feel like
there's Spanish in K-pop, there's English in K-pop, there's Japanese, there's Korean.
I feel like J-pop is more aimed just at Japan. It's just like more like the idol culture is more like focused on like making money in Japan. But they don't really try to export it so much.
You watch those K-pop videos and they're just so loud and so bright and such a huge show. It's like a spectacle. I think it's a lot more like loud.
I suppose. Yeah. I think they're... So on the other side of that, I think there's actually a lot of really great... So I'm going to say this. I really hate J-pop. I'm sorry for everyone.
He's not a pop music guy.
I hate all kinds of pop music, not just J-pop.
No discrimination.
I hate pop music from the West. I hate pop music from... I hate K-pop. I hate J-pop. I just hate pop music.
We don't
Japan,
take Steven to the club.
Oh, I like going to the club and dancing to club music sometimes. But there's actually really great. There's actually really great Japanese music. And like the thing is with Japan is it's like mostly like a lot of chill wave music came from Japan.
Chill wave. What's that?
Chill wave is kind of like instrumental hip hop music. So there's no rap. It's kind of like chill beats to study slash. New Japanese, yes. Nujabes is like one of the originators of chill hop kind of music.
Nujabes, he was like a DJ. He took all this music and put it together, and it's really, really cool. I'll put his name in the chat so you can check him out.
Yeah, fantastic musician. It's very unfortunate. I think
he died in the car crash. Yeah. An amazing guy. Like, he was one of the first Japanese artists I loved.
Yeah, he wasn't ever really famous or anything until after he died, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so this kind of sample-based music has kind of taken over the world now on like not on the flashy mainstream side of things, but like on internet radio and for soundtracks and for just like background music, and also just like that kind of style has really taken over like hip hop from every country. Just this kind of like stripped back jazz with like a hip hop beat, which is kind of weird because it's like hip hop comes from jazz and now it's gone circular where it's like the new hip hop is making new jazz, and it's just like that blows my mind.
That's amazing.
You know?
And Japan also has a lot of amazing post-rock bands.
Yeah.
Post-rock is hard to explain. Could you try?
When you say post-rock, do you just mean like, I don't know what post-rock is really. It's like, there's so many genres.
Yeah, there's so many genres.
That I'm like, they kind of just all sound the same to me, unless it's like something obvious like blues rock.
Forget about post-rock. Well, bands that are really guitar heavy, kind of like this wall of sound.
Oh, right. You mean like Godspeed You, Black Emperor, or something like that. That'd be like
stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love post-rock.
There's a lot of amazing like Japanese.
Oh, like Boris? Do you know Boris?
I don't know.
He does like post-rock, I guess.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like a music producer, I guess. And it's like pretty like heavy guitars and stuff, and instrumental kind of shoegazy.
Yeah, shoegaze. Shoegaze is an interesting word.
Shoegaze comes from Ireland.
Really?
Yeah. My Bloody Valentine. They started the whole thing.
What?
Yeah.
I
they're
love
like the
them.
progenitors of
Those, they're great.
Yeah, they're from Dublin.
So the reason it's called shoegaze is because the guitarists have many, many pedals, many effects on the music. So when they look down, they're gazing. Gazing is like looking deeply at their shoes.
Yeah.
So shoegaze, like shoe look, shoegaze.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. But anyways, okay. I think so let's switch to video games by talking about music.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
the first pop singer in Japan that I really, really liked was Utada Hikaru because of Kingdom Hearts, which is a video game that combines Final Fantasy and Disney, and Utada Hikaru wrote each game's theme song.
Oh.
And so I loved the theme songs, and so I listened to Utada Hikaru because of that Japanese video game.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have to mention like Legend of Zelda for sure, right?
Zelda!
When I was growing up and I played like Ocarina of Time or something, it wasn't the first Zelda game that I played, but it was like the first one I like remember playing. Because I was still like a baby basically. I was still like 4 years old, 5 years old or something when we had it on a Nintendo 64. And I remember like watching my brother play it, and I was just like, whoa! And the music in Legend of Zelda is just like fantastic.
It's great.
It's actually like, so the reason that the music in Legend of Zelda is all kind of, it's all like three, it focuses on like three notes or three triads. Three chords kind of for almost every single song in Zelda, right? It's always like three different songs, and that's because in the original Zelda games on like the Super Famicom or whatever, they only the memory card on the like Super Famicom or whatever, it only had
an old game system.
Yeah, like on the Super Nintendo or whatever. It only had enough RAM or like memory to hold 3 triads. And so that's why they got this I can't remember his name now.
So the music has particular notes because of the memory limits on the game.
And so he had to be very like inventive, and he's a really great composer because he was limited. For every song, he could only use 3 chords.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember his name, but
so the composer of this awesome video game music for Zelda.
And so like the really famous like that's like that whole thing was made just because the technology was limited.
Sometimes limits can really improve our creativity.
Yeah, limitation breeds creativity for sure. And so
Hi!
Heyo!
Welcome!
Tanaka-san, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Oh, they told me who they were. I saw, but there's a lot of Tanakas, so maybe it's a different Tanaka.
Maybe it's Aoi.
I think it is Aoi.
Aoi. Aoi.
I can't read the third kanji. It looks like grass or something, but it's not.
Yeah, so video games.
Yeah, video games.
Zelda.
So Zelda. A few more minutes? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be going for at least 5 more.
Yeah, at least 5 more minutes. So we talked about anime.
I knew it.
Horror and music, and now we're on video games.
Yeah.
Did you play Nintendo before? Nintendo, PlayStation, it's all Japanese except for the Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox is like the only non-Japanese console, really.
Yeah, so much gaming came from Japan.
Yeah.
Japan is the reason we have Nintendo and PlayStation.
Please remember me.
Of course.
I always do.
We're just bad at kanji. We're just gaijin.
Yeah.
We're bad at kanji. All right, so let's talk something other than media. What about like, I don't know, sensibilities or I think that Americans really love like Japanese concepts. For example, like wabi-sabi.
Oh, right. Yeah, the first time I heard about wabi-sabi was in Philip K. Dick's book.
Really?
About, it's like there's, in one of his books, there's this guy who makes like jewelry. It's in Man in a High Castle.
Oh.
Yeah, the book. The book is totally different than the TV show. Not all similar. Anyways, but he's making jewelry. He lives in like a Japanese part of the town, and like the guy's like, oh, it's like wabi-sabi. But then he's like, yeah, it's wabi-sabi because you're terrible. So he's like, it's imperfect, and so it looks nice.
The concept
but that's because you're terrible.
Finding
and I was like, whoa, that's so mean.
Finding beauty in imperfection. Oh, you have a lot of imperfection.
Yeah, that's what the guy says in the book. And I was like, damn, that was harsh.
I think, especially in the 1960s, the counterculture in America, I think a lot of people became obsessed with Zen.
Yeah, Zen Buddhism.
Japanese Zen.
I was just thinking that when you said counterculture, I was immediately thinking like Alan Watts.
Alan Watts,
kind of like
he's the
Zen.
man.
I love Alan Watts. Yeah.
So Alan Watts is a Western philosopher who talks about like these sort of Eastern principles, these Eastern ideas.
Yeah, like Confucianism or Zen meditation.
Yeah, and he kind of introduces them to a Western audience. His voice is very calming.
Very calming, and he's also very funny. But he also like he'll say something.
He's such a dad.
Which is like some very normal like words. It's like he doesn't even use like difficult words.
Yeah, it's very easy to
He
understand.
just talks and then he says something and I'm like, whoa. Every time I'm like, my mind is blown. Every time I listen to Alan Watts, I'm like, this guy, he knows what's up.
He blew my mind. He blows my mind. That means like mine explodes.
Mind idea. Yeah, that's a good song actually. Not by Alan Watts. Totally different person.
But yeah. So he actually introduced me to a lot of Japanese concepts and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think most of the Japanese concepts that I came across were like in books, but or movies, like.
Oh my god! Can
Seppuku
we?
and
So
stuff.
speaking of like awful media, that can we talk about The Last Samurai?
Dude, I was just about to mention The Last Samurai, and I watched The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise when I was a kid.
Have you guys seen The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise?
Yeah, I watched it when I was a kid, and I loved it. It's what made me like be like, oh, Japan's so cool. Samurai are so amazing, and I loved it so much when I was a kid. And then I got older, and then I watched it again, and I was like, this is stupid. I was like, this is so dumb.
So you're telling me that Tom Cruise was the last samurai?
It's not even that. It's just like, yeah, wow. It's just like,
it's silly.
It's just so stupid. And it's like, but as well as that, it was like after I had been working and I had jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So I got older and I was just like, and I watched it. So I watched it the first time when I was a kid, and I thought it was amazing. I want to be a samurai. Then I watched it after being at university and having a job and working, and I was like, man, screw those guys. They're just like, we're not aristocracy anymore, so we're gonna like kill as many people with these swords as possible instead of just like getting a new job. Like, I was like, just pay your taxes, man. Like, pay your taxes, get a job. Stop being so like, oh, I'm a samurai. I work for the emperor. I'm like, that's cool, but like, oh my god, really?
Tomoyo, what did you think?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tomoyo. If you love that movie, my dad loves that movie so much. But I was just like, loads of people are dying for like no reason.
I think lots of people watched it as children and then they were like, whoa.
I mean, I love it. And also, to be fair, the fight scenes are pretty cool. The fight scenes are very cool, actually.
I wonder what Tomoyo thought of The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, we just take things and it doesn't work out super well.
Yeah. I feel like Last Samurai is good in some ways,
but not in others.
It's just kind of like, it's mainly the message that I disagree with when I watched it when I got older. Because it's just like pro-aristocracy, pro, like, upper class, like, screw the working class people. Because, like, in it, it's like, even at the start of the movie, so they have all the soldiers with the guns, right? And they're like, now everyone has a gun and everything. And, like, the samurai guy is like, they're not samurai. They're just all farmers and, like, peasants and, like barbers and blacksmiths, and they just gave them a weapon, and now they think they are warriors. We have been warriors since we were born. And I'm like,
you know this movie really well.
Oh, I've seen it so many times. My dad loves this movie so much. So I've seen it so many times, and then I watched it, and I was like, wait a minute. Like, the samurai are the rich upper class, and they're just like trying to keep the working class people down. I was like, this is a monarchy. I was like, I hate them so much.
Class consciousness, class.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would prefer Ronin, because then, like, if they're Ronin and they just go out and they do their own thing and they're like, screw the elites, screw the emperor. I'm like, yeah, anarchy, do your own thing. Ronin are way more cool.
And that is Steven's rant about The Last Samurai.
I'm sorry. I always get caught up in political issues when I watch movies.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that is it for today. Do you have any more comments or questions? Remember to always comment in the chat. We will talk to you.
Yes.
We are here for you. You can ask questions or suggest topics. We love it when you suggest topics because then we know, ooh, we're talking about something interesting for you.
Yep.
So yeah, do you remember our theme song? Our new theme song? Steven and Darian.
Okay, got it. Okay, I got it. Okay, it's our theme song time. We got a double theme song. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's the Steven and Darian Show. Thank you, everybody. You've been wonderful. We love you. We love you so much. Thank you, Nagoya. Thank you, Philippines. Thank you, wherever else you are. Good night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Night.